Boom. What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining. This is Coach Stokes and the Brothers. And today, our topic is, what do you need from your spouse and women within your community? Very, very deep topic. Who we have on today? We have my brother-in-law, Rhenaldo Williams, all the way from D.C., Washington, D.C. My man, Jay Reed from out here in California. Randy Curtis, Washington, D.C. Isaac Randall, Rochester, New York. Jordan Cagle from Willingboro, New Jersey. Teddy Randolph, all the way from the Atlanta, Georgia. And my man, Todd Burton from Rochester, New York. Everybody, let me see a hands of who is married in the panel. Who's all married? Raise your hands. Teddy, you're not married? Oh, you're not married? That's right.
Man,
I thought you was married, brother.
Why you put me out there like
No.
Why you put me out there like that? Why you?
No.
Right around the corner for me, though. Right around the corner for me.
20 years divorce, bro. 20 years divorce.
Okay.
I did it for 20 years.
Got the t-shirt. Okay. So this is what we're talking about. We're talking about, what do you need from your spouse and women within our community? All right. Anybody want to go ahead and jump in first? Because we're going straight from the frying pan to the fire. Anybody?
Yeah, I'll start first.
Go ahead,
I'm newly married, man. September we got married. So I'm like 7-8 months in, approaching a year. And what I need from the women in our community and my spouse is what they've always been doing, really, and which is encouraging, words of encouragement, right? Letting us know how valuable and needed we are, right? Reinforcing, really, she's like a sounding board. My wife's a sounding board for me. So anytime I feel like I'm feeling frustrated or feeling down, she really understands where I'm coming from because she's a Black woman too. And then she validates how I feel. And then she provides that encouraging word to say, look, man, I understand how you're feeling, and you can accomplish these things you want to accomplish. You know what's going on here. I got your back no matter what. So just that constant support to know that she's always going to be there for me. Like that's what I find that I need right now, so early in my marriage and just in general, and from the community.
Jordan, let me ask you this: how has it been when the brother George Floyd got executed, man, a couple weeks back?
Yeah.
What went through your mind, Brent? Take us back. What exactly went through your mind when you saw? Where were you at when you heard about it? What happened?
Man, I think because we're in quarantine, I believe I was home on my couch, and I was like, yo, what is this clip going around of this dude being killed by the police? So, and I thought it was going to be like a shooting, but when I watched it, it was like Dave Chappelle has his new comedy special about 8:46. Yeah. It was 8 minutes and 46 seconds of this white man with his knee on the neck of George Floyd. Yo, I was in disbelief. I was like, there's no way he's going to let this dude's going to die. Like, he's going to kill this man right here in front of everybody, with everybody saying, stop, get off his neck, you're going to kill him, he's not breathing. He still kept doing it. So, listen, I was angry about it. I'm not going to say I was fearful. I put myself in George Floyd's shoes, or if that was a loved one of mine, I said I would have died that day, because I would have that cop, we would have had to go at it. Like, for real, I would have tackled that cop. Something would have happened. I would have been going to jail.
Real talk.
It was tough to watch.
Ike, you got something to say on that?
Definitely, bro. If I was in that predicament right there, I would have to tackle that cop off him. It would have been a problem. I'm a 6-foot brother. I'm 400 pounds. I would have spared my life for him, because we're all brothers no matter what, period, man. I can't see nobody killing somebody, period, man. You know what I'm saying? And in my neighborhood, where I'm from, man, Steve, we all grew up. We stuck by each other, man. If we knew each other or not, man, we stuck by each other, man. And that's what society doesn't do right now, man. It's so quick to video record, so quick to pop it on social media, and not save a life, man. You'd rather record it on social media than save somebody's life, man. It would have been on and popping between me and those cops, man.
That's crazy, because where we come from, I'm pretty sure everybody's hood is the same way. But like, I know in Rochester, is broken up. You got the west side, you got the east side, and then of course you got the suburbs. But we fight each other, but if we step outside of Rochester and you find somebody that's from the Rock, you got their back. I don't care. You could be immortal enemies and be like, you know, but I got your back though, regardless. So that was something that got to me, man, because I'm saying to myself, like, I'm sitting there and I'm watching the video, I'm saying, like, why ain't nobody trying to tackle? Why ain't nobody getting close? Why ain't nobody saying, like, yo, stop, man, stop? You had 3 police officers that was on this brother, man, and was like, didn't nobody do anything. They sat there and they let him die. Teddy, talk to me, brother, being a police officer, man.
I think it would have been possibly 2 or 3 killings that day, because had somebody broke ranks to or to attack any one of those officers to get that man off of George, it possibly would have been either arrested or and they were following the lead of a seasoned veteran. I think this man was on the force somewhere close to 20 years, 18, 19 years. Am I wrong, gentlemen?
No, you're right.
Maybe 18, 19 years. I did 22 years, 6 months on the sheriff's office. So they were following his lead. And so those were rookie officers following a seasoned veteran lead.
Yeah.
And no one had the common sense from a human standpoint, not from just a common decency, not from a police standpoint, but from just a humanistic standpoint, and say, hey man, this is not right. Let's just stop this.
Right.
No one did that. And for me, being also, say I was in Minnesota vacationing, I possibly would have gotten shot because I couldn't stand by a retired officer seeing that happened. Nah. And I probably would have got involved in some type of scuffle trying to get that officer off of, because that's what would have happened with a citizen trying to get into a scuffle, trying to get that man off of George's neck. And he intentionally killed that man. It was an intentional killing.
Yeah,
It was.
Yeah,
I mean, it was intentional because there is nowhere in our training that teach us to do that. Period. And not to stay too far off your topic, but I think women, they offer us a balance, Steve. I think they offer us a balance and offer us an opposite view of what we usually look at. And I think your wife touched on that about a week ago, where she calmed you down to a point of not allowing you to do something crazy.
Yeah.
I think women always get into us as men, and they're with us to not allow us to do something off the chain, because they allow us to see a view that to allow us to, we have children. You got to live for these kids. You should not do this because you have this to look for or to live for or to not get locked up for. You understand? So women often have us to look at another view of life. And that's why I think to offer us that balance and that opposite view, to have us, that's why I love our women, because they always have another view to have us to look at.
That's a good point.
Hey, I wanna ask my man Randy Choo this. Randy, when it comes to black people, because me and my wife was talking about this. When it comes to black people, do you think black people want to be loved, or do they want to be respect? If it comes down both of them, 1 or 2 words. Do we want love or do we want respect?
I think you have to. I think as a whole, as a collective, I think black people want to be respected, because the way that we define love today isn't the way that our ancestors defined love. Today, love is almost thrown around as a word of manipulation. It's loosely used because we're in the age of social media, internet, and online dating, and everything else that comes with it. But overall, as a black man, you don't have to like me. You don't have to love me, but you have to respect me. Respect goes a long way. I don't know some of the brothers on the panel, but I know that if I show them respect, that I know I'm gonna get respect back. I don't have to have a deep love for the brothers or even like the brothers. I don't even know the brothers.
Right.
But respect is something that we've never had in our sojourn here in America. And I feel like that's the number one thing as a Black man that we need, which is why, brother Steve, when we are in our relationships with women, you notice that we tend to fly off the handle when we feel a lack of respect. And each brother on this panel may have a different perspective or definition of what they call respect within a relationship. Overall, if a man feels disrespected, a Black man feels disrespected in a relationship, it's almost something inside of him that he can't control when he loses his temper over or his feelings and emotions over getting or being disrespected. And to respect your time, that's my 2-3 minutes. This is my little nugget.
Brother, I want to add on to that because you said that. Do you think that's because of how we were brought over? When I say us as Black people collectively have been brought over from Africa, and then what slave masters did to us. How they disrespected us, how they killed us. Do you think that has something to do with our deep feelings?
Because we live in an age of social media and information is fastly swallowed but not digested. People don't understand the trauma that is in our blood. I don't care if you're half Black. I don't care if you're fully Black. You have trauma passed on through your blood. You have conditioning passed on through your blood. You have colonization passed on through your blood.
Yeah.
And because before our sojourn here in America, Africanus said in his diary that he felt as though he lived amongst the gods in paradise when he was looking over the continent we call Africa today. He realized that we had no crime, there was no poverty. Yeah, they don't teach that in the history books. And there was a love for each other to where the neighbor didn't have to lock his doors or hide his valuables because every person respected each other's property and things like that. We learned how to be disrespectful and hatred towards one another here in our sojourn in America.
Thanks.
Got you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brother Choo. We're going to come back. We definitely going to come back to you. Brother Reed, Jay Reed.
Yes.
You are a very educated man. You're down in Southern California. You're amongst a lot of people down there, brother. What is it that, how is it that you stay above, I don't want to say stay above float, but what is it that you do, man, when it comes to?
Well, everything that we've been talking about, I agree with everybody. We all have our own twist on it. And I want to say that the men that participate in meetings like this, unfortunately, I want to say we're the exception, in our communities. That's sad, but we're the exception. So, in the context, first off, of what we need, what I look for in a woman to stay on topic and just, what I look for from a spouse and within women in the community, I want to say it goes back to, I believe, Randy said on respect. Like that's the key aspect. I mean, it's been perpetuated by Western society, by white dominant culture that, our women tend to be more educated than us in our community, our specific community, the Black community. More of us are incarcerated than in higher education. Facts. That's statistics.
Right.
Okay. So when you look at that and you look at the fact that our women are oftentimes the breadwinners, there's exceptions. Like I said, I want to say everybody on this panel is probably the exception, but the norm being, hey, my wife, example, my wife's a lawyer and I work, I have a lower level managerial job. My wife's, outgrossing me, you know what I mean? And so that level of respect, where in my grandparents' era, my father's era even, because, I was a late child. So my grandparents are in their hundreds if they're living. if their generation, there was a level of respect that the woman and the male reciprocated with one another. Didn't matter whether a man was an orderly at the Veterans Hospital, like my grandfather was, or he was a doctor. He got a certain level of respect from his spouse. Right. That, because of social media, because we have kids having kids, that is watered down now. We have kids having kids, and people don't even know, they can't even go past their grandparents. Well, I could go to my great-grandparents. I got to know my great-grandparents, my great-great-grandparents. So you don't have elderly traditions being passed down. You don't have the indigenous you don't have, not even talking about Native American, indigenous African culture, whether the village principles, the tribal principles, everybody played a role. Now that has been perpetuated by systematic white supremacy that the spouse, the women in our communities often frown upon us and look down upon us. I'm blessed that I don't have that situation, but I know many brothers that do. Hey, there's many women. I have four sisters, and I've heard all kinds of crazy stuff that they speak with their friends. Hey, guy works at Walmart, good brother, working hard, wants to do better, has aspirations and dreams. Guess what? He can't make the cut. He works at Walmart. How has that mentality? That mentality has been perpetuated by the white man. Oh, you know, and that's, you know, I shouldn't say white man. I'll use dominant culture because we're on YouTube. The dominant culture in America has perpetuated that. So we don't love ourselves. And if you don't love yourself as a black woman, as a minority woman, how are you going to love your spouse?
Woo!
Oh, talk about it.
Jay Reed. That's why you my boxing brother, Jay Reed. Motherfucking boxing brother, baby. God damn. Cali on the map, baby. Cali on the map. We represent out here. Hey, Todd Burton, you the quiet one of the bunch, brother. Hey, this is a brother I've been knowing since we've been 5 years old, man. 5 years old. So that's been 42 years. We got history, Todd.
That's good.
Been a long time, bro.
Todd, was it that you need from your spouse, man?
As all the other brothers said, probably just to support, especially not to be adversarial, especially in these times that we have now, not to be adversarial toward each other at this time. This is a time, it's tough these times between the corona and now this thing with George Floyd. You know, life is short. You never know what could happen. So don't be adversarial towards each other. Love one another. Enjoy each other. Because life is short. You don't know what could happen.
So Todd, I want to add on that. You're an educator. You work within the public city school district. Working with, your colleagues. You know, have you had, because I'm gonna be real with you. Me and my wife just left Lowe's. And I don't know if you brothers knew this, but if you go to Lowe's, if you're doing the shopping, go to Lowe's. Don't go to Home Depot. Home Depot supports Trump, if you knew that or not.
Okay.
All right. So we go to Lowe's, right? And white people are really, really cautious. They was like, kind of like more than 6 feet away, but, they're looking like, man, should I speak? Should I not speak?
That's true.
And I'm speaking. I'm letting them know, like, yo, I'm a brother. I'm cool. You ain't got nothing to worry about. How has it been as far as your work progress, Todd?
We had a Zoom meeting last Monday, just with our staff, maybe about 30 people. And our principal challenged the white staff, hey, this George Floyd thing happened. He challenged them. He asked them, how do I know that you guys are going to be able to support our students through this whole situation? And it got really emotional. The people I work with are great. They're all caring. We all get along pretty good. And especially all the white women, they were sobbing, they were crying. It was just a touchy subject for them. So, at work it has been a problem because, like I said, our principal not only has a standard that everybody's going to be for our kids, they're just a good group of people. So it hasn't been a problem really at work so far.
Okay. All right. That's good. That's good to hear.
Oh, and if you know Mr. Ramirez, you know how he rolls, right?
Oh, Mr. Ramirez is one of the most. I can't even say hands down, man. That dude is the bomb in Rochester, man. He helped my son personally make it through high school, like day in and day out, calling, waking him up, everything. He's the bomb. And me and Todd work in the city school district where we have a diverse cultures, man. And our principal over at East High School is white, but I've never seen a lady come out and give love like she does, man. She has principles. She wants to know every kid's name. She goes outside in the morning. She greets every kid by their name. She hugs them. She loves on them. And it's not no race, color, or creed with her, period. And I don't look at it as race, color, or creed. I have some Spanish girls at my school that call me dad. I have white boys that call me Uncle Ike. You know what I'm saying? It's not race, color, or creed for me, man, because when it all comes down to it, man, and this today's society, like my brother said, is so social media evolved that these kids don't have no love, man. The love they receive is fake love on social media, but when they give somebody that gives them genuine love from the heart, hug them, love them, and tell them that we're just going to be there, no matter what you're going through, win, lose, or draw, I'm there. And that's what me and Todd deal with on an everyday basis.
As
teachers,
Ike? You guys are teachers?
Educators.
I'm a safety officer in the school building. So I'm one of the first responders in the school building. So, yeah, but I wouldn't trade it in for the world, man. You know what I'm saying? Doing this COVID-19, reaching out to kids, man, telling them how much I love them, I miss them. Even during the COVID-19, we did a handout with for our seniors. It was no social distancing, man. These kids were running out the house, giving love, hugging on us, white, black, Spanish, it didn't matter, you know. So we get it all from all, you know, spectrums, man. We just love on our kids, man. That's it, man.
Good.
Like, I don't have to even the lady you're describing, the white lady you're describing, I already know who you're talking about. It's Marlene Blocker. I mean, these kids will run through a brick wall for this lady.
Well, I mean, they will.
And that's just how much love she shows them. This lady loves these kids. She loves these kids. So a lot of times it's not about race and, you know, this type of stuff. It's how much love they're giving. If they're giving love, they'll run through a brick wall for you. And they'll run through a brick wall for this lady, man.
Let me ask you this. I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I understand what you're saying, but it is about race when it comes down to it. It is about race, because if it wasn't, we would not be talking about this, brothers. I understand what you're saying, brothers. I understand what you're saying, but I'm so sick of hearing this shit. It ain't about.
Why are we here? Why are we here?
Hey,
right.
Hey, Coach. I think what you said is very.
It is
pivotal to the conversation at hand, because several of the brothers.
Fix your face, Todd. Fix your face. I said, I know that face. Fix your face.
Several of the brothers.
Steve, leave him alone, Steve.
That I love and definitely want to highlight, if I'm allowed to.
No, go ahead, brother. Yeah, please.
Thank you. Sorry, y'all. My wife brought me some coffee.
That's love. That's love.
Number one.
No. I got you next after Randy. You next. I didn't forget about you.
One, I just want to say that what the brother said about you know, the Hispanics showing him love and things like that. You know, it's interesting because the black man has always had all ethnicities under his belt. No matter what society tries to say about mixing of all that and the interracial and all that, we've always conquered every single diaspora of color in the human family, because no matter what race they are, they love to come home back to daddy. That's number one. Number two, it's interesting because another brother, the brother talked about Sometimes a woman makes more money or more educated than us. You know, and if you study what we call Shaka Zulu nation, his mom actually was the person giving him political advice.
Yes.
The women in African culture, it didn't matter if they were smarter or they know how to maneuver through things. They had traditional teachings passed down to them where they knew how to honor the role of the man by knowing how to play their role as the woman. And in our sojourn here in America, you will find that oftentimes, even white women that love our children and get love back from our children, it's almost like they have to go out of their way to do that. And I'm not talking about all. I'm just talking about some. Like, let me be specific. Like in the state of Maryland, let me say that in the state of Maryland, there's about an 85% ratio. They're all white young teachers, and that's who our daughters are being taught by in the school system. And then they come home, and the home life may not be as structured as it should be because the parents have to bust their butt because of systematic oppression, where the mom and the father may not be at the house all the time because they have to work. So who's raising them but what they're seeing on television, what they're watching on social media? People like Cardi B twerking and Nicki Minaj pumping their butt and putting on the fake hair and all these things are systematic. And I think if we can get the women that us Black men attach ourselves to, if they can understand their role as the woman, even if you have someone who's not a man, you can create him into a man. And I just wanted to throw that nugget in there because oftentimes you hear the Black woman say, "Niggas ain't," you know, or you hear Black men say they ain't nothing but thoughts or whatever they say or we say. But at the end of the day, it's all about playing a role, and at the end of the day, it's all about evolving and growing with one another. But we don't have that because our society is so microwaved.
Yes.
Y'all being harsh on the women, though, in my opinion, a little bit. Y'all being really harsh.
I said men and women.
And the reason, well, no, because the women, I feel like women, Black women, they have had to be strong. They've been strong since the beginning of time, right? And they're growing, and they're in the same. They've been in the same conditions that Black men have been in, right? So if we talk about growing up in single-parent homes, right? Usually, just this show. My brother Jay Reed talked about stats, right? 72% of African American children grow up in a single-parent home, right? Just the mother, right? So now you got women growing up without a father, just like the boys are growing up without fathers. So their idea of wanting a good man is coming from where?
Jordan, pause up for a quick second. Everybody that's on the panel right now, who's raised in a single parent household? I'm gonna raise my hand because I was.
I was too.
Parent
Partially.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
So what I'm saying is, like, we talk about the women having an attitude and not knowing how to find a good man. I heard a couple guys say that they'll turn down a brother in the Walmart. They're looking at Cardi B for twerking. Listen, but there's really has been no example in the home because they're growing up in that conditions as a lot of Black men. There's no father in the house, right? Whether it's by systematic oppression or mass incarceration, whether it's the brother just left and didn't take care of his children, or whether he died. I don't know what the situation is, but they have grown up in the same exact conditions, and they're just a product of what I believe is we need to go back to how it used to be in the 60s, where dual parent homes with a mother and father was a key and critical to the rearing of our children. It just was. So I don't think we can just look at women and say they need to treat their man better. I don't agree with that completely. I just don't. I don't. That's just my opinion.
I mean, feeding off of what you're saying, Jordan, Me and Steve was speaking about this the other day. That's where it comes in as us as men being one with our women of breaking generational curses.
Right.
Can you hold that? Because I got to get to Nardo. Yeah,
right, go ahead, brother Nard.
Nardo, go ahead, baby.
Well, it's a lot of impact. Everybody has some good points, man. I just back to the main question at hand. I think for me, I need a 50-50 of respect and love from the women, my woman, and the women in my community, because the streets don't love me at all. But when I'm in the house, I need my woman to love me and respect me and give me all I need, because when I leave out that front door, there's a 50% chance that I'm gonna get killed. Let's call a spade by someone that look like me or someone that don't look like me. So I think respect is given, but love is needed. That's on that aspect. To piggyback on my brother Choo, I was a harsh critic of Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, all these females, but I realized in the house with my wife, I realized that, that stuff is kind of needed a little bit. It's kind of, because it's like the balance they need, because, it's like for us, when we go out and we talk, we kick our shit with us men, but we know when to turn it off and turn it on. I think the differential that's missing right now, a lot of women know how to turn it off and turn it on. They leave it on too long around their children and become real bad influence on our young. I think what we need to start doing is kind of hiding that aspect away from their children and not exposing it too early, because the path that, they're too young and they're real naive, and what they see, they pick up. And I think that's a very, very, very important, tidbit that needs to be stated, because I don't need my woman to be just like me. I need her to be a woman. And what women do, it's what women do. And I need that. I don't need no man around me. I need a woman around me. I want you to do what you do, shake that up, all that. I need all that. But I want you to still know. I still want you to know that when it's time to be behind me, I need you behind me rock solid, because we got business to take care of. We got business.
So little bro, let me ask this, little bro. And I want everybody to ponder on this. Everybody's going to be different. Do you think we as black people, I'm not talking about Antifa, I'm not talking about white people that was inside looting, I'm talking about we as black people, do you think we did enough when it came to the riots? No.
Personally, I don't think we did enough. We did.
Wait, hold on. What do you mean enough?
Did enough in terms of what?
We didn't make an impact. We didn't make an impact. We started. It's like we had.
In terms of what?
It's like you putting the grill up. We had some coals, but we didn't have they didn't put the fluid on the fire. We had the coals there. We didn't light the match. So the coals was still there in place.
In terms of what?
Hold up, Teddy. Hold up. I gotta let the brother finish. I'm gonna get to you. I'm gonna get to everybody.
No, I know. I'm saying, you said in terms of. I was asking in terms of what? You said we didn't do enough.
What do you think is enough?
In terms of what? I was asking in terms of what?
Rioting in the
rioting. Making a difference.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Sorry about that. Go ahead, Nardo.
Yeah, my analogy was, starting to grill up. We got the coals, we got the lighter fluid, we got the fire, and we got the match to make the fire. I think we had the coals in place. We put the coals down, but we ain't put the fluid on it, and we ain't light the match. If we were dead, we wouldn't have Rashard Brooks that happened 2 days ago.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. We have the coals down. We put them down, but we haven't made no change yet. We still had a brother June 9th that got hung by a USB cord. You know what I'm saying? These are things that we that's still happening.
Robert
that we know about. That it's like I said, me and Jay we heard earlier, things we don't know about that's still happening. Yeah. So from my point of view, I don't think we did enough, not at all. And then go back to the proponent of we're damaging our community. That shit ain't ours, bruh.
It ain't.
It ain't ours, bruh. I don't care about CVS. I don't care about Wendy's. I don't care about Target.
I think the rioting was wrong.
Huh?
I think the rioting was wrong.
Okay. I mean,
I don't think we should have rioted. I don't think it's conducive to. To me, the rioting was like a 2-year-old throwing a temper tantrum.
I agree with you.
It's not going to get anywhere. Like the process to change is going to be a slow one. Like, it's not going to happen because we burned down some buildings and we destroyed this property. It's not going to happen. It's going to take rearing up our children to become lawyers, become the judges, to become these positions of power, better police. It's going to take those types of actions in the long run. It's not going to this rioting. They're going to use that. Say, look at these animals, what they already think we are, and say, look what they're doing. They're out there burning down buildings. This is why they're getting shot down in the streets. I think it's counterproductive to what we were trying to accomplish. I really don't think it was a good idea to riot like that. I did.
Can I refute that one point?
Yeah, man. Go ahead.
All right. So I got another situation. So Drew Brees came out 2 weeks ago, a week and a half ago, about his back and he's going stern on belief on his views about the flag, right?
Sir, yes, sir.
Within 24 hours of that black backlash he received, he switched his note pretty quickly, right?
Okay, yeah.
That's what we need, energy, and how you give the energy, how you give it. We need energy because we can't keep on talking down the street amongst ourselves. They don't hear amongst ourselves. We got to make sure they hear us outside of ourselves. That's where the change happening, outside of ourselves.
No, I agree with that. I just don't think that rioting was the best method to accomplish that. That's all. Go ahead.
Oh, all right, Jay Reed, Jordan, I want to chime in. I agree with what you're saying. As far as when it comes to the rioting, but if we're gonna go ahead and do that, we gotta have a message behind that we gotta stick behind, because there's too many.
A plan, right?
Exactly. We gotta have a plan because there's been too. So, for example, I put everything militarily and boxing wise, because that, what I'm saying, that's what I do. Militarily wise, Teddy, you know this for a fact. When we going in and we want to seize a land, for example, like Iraq, we're gonna send in the people that we need to, our foot soldiers, just to search and assess and see what everything's out there. And then we're gonna send in the big major corps after that, just to finish it off. There's been too many times in Black history where we start something and we don't finish, brother. We don't finish it all. And they know that. When I say some of the corporation, the government knows that.
Right. That's true.
Like you said, Teddy, if we're going to do something, we got to finish it. We cannot stop.
Like I was telling my son, if we really want to send a message, and I don't condone this because I'm a retired officer myself, but I told my son, back off. You got some brother with some AR, and hit a 2 or 3 officers, and you send a message. And I'm not telling you that's what to do, but if you want to send a message, send a clear-cut message.
Yeah.
And because guess what? I'm a black officer, right? But I'm not, and I don't condone killing officers, right? At all. But guess what?
Yeah.
If I go around killing any white man like that, in that instance,
burn your ass
my
up.
tour duty, in any way, my black ass will be burnt to the stump.
Yeah.
The first bullet I kill a white man in this country.
Yeah.
I call all my partners that's retired with me, that did the same amount of years I did, and they said the same exact thing. Okay. Justice is not for us. It's just not for us. And so the same, it's just not the same for black officers as it is for whites.
Hold on, Jordan. Hold on, Jordan. Hold on. Jay Reed, go ahead, Jay Reed. Go ahead.
Yeah. This is actually a session that should probably be 2 hours because it's pretty deep. But,
come on, Jared, talk to me.
But to answer the question, I agree with everything that everybody said. But my twist on it is, first, the black community as a whole needs to realize that we're at war. Okay? We're at war. I don't mean literal guns and bullets, boots on the ground, but we're systematically at war. Systematically.
Yes.
And once you understand that, then yes, you understand rioting is a component. It is the voice of the unheard. As people have said, rioting is the voice of the unheard. When this first happened with George Floyd, that was pretty, I understood it. Okay, people are going to riot. They're upset. When they hit the precinct and they burnt down the Minnesota precinct, I said, I lifted my fist. Okay, that seems strategic. Strategic planning There's no strategic planning in this movement. There's no leaders right now, nationally. And that's the problem. Unfortunately, yes, rioting, war, bloodshed, that's a part of any movement. And it wouldn't be a movement if you didn't have bloodshed and you didn't have desecration. You want to look at Haiti revolution? You want where the brothers uplifted and overturned France? They wouldn't be independent right now if it wasn't for bloodshed. If you look at Algeria, let me finish, brother. I stood quiet. Any revolution that has been successful, including the American Revolution, came at a cost. And what I'm saying, there needs to be, in my ideas, strategic planning, and there needs to be tiers to that. There needs to be grassroots movement, and there needs to be some folks that can help us with money behind them. Where are all these people such as Jay-Z, P. Diddy, when it counts? I don't want to hear no Zoom P. Diddy talking about, no, where are you at now when we need you?
That's right.
I didn't depend on people like Oprah, but we see with Oprah and those people, we have no black leaders. And I'm not talking about violent revolutionary change, but there needs to be, the revolution starts here. The revolution starts here. And right now, with no leadership, you have unguided youth.
Stokes.
You have unguided energy. And that's what's happening right now. But we're at war.
Steve, let me say this real quickly. For Malcolm X, for Martin Luther King, they didn't have this kind of rioting, and this man gave his life. Malcolm X, Medgar Evers, they didn't have this kind of looting and rioting, and these men gave their lives. They didn't have this kind of looting and rioting, and these are prominent men that gave their lives for this country.
Right.
I mean, can any brother add to that?
Hey, brother, hey, hold on, brother. I would tell you this. Yes, but you talking about the same brothers that got killed in the suit. Martin was wearing a suit when he got murdered.
Yeah, but they didn't have, even his own daughter spoke upon that.
Choo, go ahead. I gotta get Randy Choo. Go ahead, Choo.
I think if you listen to the dialogue that we're having, you will see how crazy it is to lead 40+ million people into freedom. I respect everyone's viewpoint from their vantage point, but as someone who's been doing grassroots works for over a decade and has been planning things and have been successful planning things like changing policy and starting to build an economic base for his local region and things like that. We don't publicize that because we know the enemy targets those things. One of the things that I must say to add to the conversation is that every single soldier has their specific field in which they are to fight.
Right, that's a good point.
For those that are intellectuals and may know lawyers and doctors, or think that's the way, like the good brother Jordan said, go find the lawyers, the doctors, and the nurses and those things, and build them up. Go get the frontline soldiers who can riot and do all the burning down of buildings. We need all of the whole front. Get those people who are, there's a lot of black leadership. It's just that we have to get out of the mindset of there's one black leader, because the last time I checked, the Messiah was the entire body of a people group. Christians call it the body of Christ. But the Messiah that COINTELPRO was looking for, they had it wrong. They were looking for an individual, not realizing it's more than just one. And if you take time to study in specific regions in our country what certain black people are stepping up to do, it's actually a beautiful thing. What I don't want is us to get impatient with those that are out there rioting or condemning them for doing so, for expressing themselves, when if that's not your approach, then use what they're doing to put pressure on white supremacy to say this is what we command from you. For example, Martin Luther King would have not been successful if there wasn't a Malcolm X. Because why? If you didn't deal with Martin, you was going to have to deal with Malcolm. And the White House knew that. And so, yeah, they killed both of them when they came together on one specific thing, and it was economics. We have all the ingredients in the pot. We just can't continue to down one another's movements while we're trying to figure it out together. I think all of it plays a role. All of it plays a role. And to be honest, you know, whether you're anti-violent, non-violent, or pro-violent, all of it plays a role. All of it plays a role. You need people that know how to negotiate. Remember the old movies, like 300 and all that, where the kings would come and be
Right.
negotiate first
Right.
before we have to send them peoples at you. Like, we need that. We need those people to step forward that can negotiate for us as a nation, as a Black nation. But what is the emphasis behind your negotiation if you have no military?
I think we're saying the same thing. When I said we're at war, brother, when I said we're at war, there's different factions of the military, right? There's different specialties, units, and forces, right? That's what I mean.
Said, what Teddy said, what Brother Jordan said, what Big Ike said, what Coach Nardo said, yo, I think we add all that together.
Correct.
I don't think we look at it as a difference. I think we add all of it together to come out with the solution that we need. That's just my opinion.
Steve and I are Marines. Steve, what's the purpose though? What was the purpose of the looting and all that? Steve Stokes asked the question. What's the whole purpose of the looting and the protesting? What's the whole purpose? Is it solved? I mean,
inconvenience.
Not at all.
Inconvenience.
Yeah, it's to put pressure on their neck. It's actually strategic. If you take a step back and look at it from a standpoint, it's actually building up to what you want, Teddy. And it's building up to what you want. Why? Because without that kind of pressure, first of all, let me say this. The reason why we got conquered, the reason why we're still in bondage now.
Choo. Quick question. Just run down your stats right quick to these brothers so they know. I'm sorry I didn't get a chance to do that, but let them know what your background right fast, because you can't speak on this.
Oh, see it. So I used to work for NSA. I used to work for the CIA. I used to work for different contractors in the government that used us to do certain things. Yeah. I'm also a grassroots worker. I do a lot of community work. We're dealing with politicians, police officers, the community, the whole nine, business owner. Yeah. So a lot of things that I'm saying is actually like, I wish I could. There's just go to your National Archives and get a bunch of declassified projects and programs, and you'll start to understand what's actually going on in today's society and how we can maneuver through it.
I feel you. I feel where you're coming from. You know, this whole thing, people have asked, what would you like to see from this? You know, and ask me, what would you like, you know, because I work with different communities. Like, I'm a regional director in the Native American community, right? You know, so I get people asking me different perspectives. And my thing is, if this government, if this whole infrastructure wants any chance of survival, in my opinion, it's time that we talk reparations. It's time that we talk reparations. 40 acres and a mule, we never got it. Japanese Americans, World War II, they got reparations for being in internment camps, right? You know, every other race has gotten, you know, Native Americans get the reparations in the form of federal programs. Where is the reparations for African Americans? And I think that would somewhat douse the flames if you said, you know what? First, we have to accept that we've done you wrong. Historical trauma is real, and we understand systematically you've been oppressed. Because of that, you know, don't just throw me an apology, but set up programs. Housing, education, tax-free possibly, since you worked with my people for hundreds of years. I just saw
someone said how he's going to figure that out. I forgot his name, the Speaker of the House. Someone said how he's going to figure that out.
How are we gonna figure that out? It can be done. It can be done. The blueprint's already been done. The precedence was already created. Japanese Americans, Native Americans already have forms of reparations. Let's sit down and talk about it.
And
If
you know what?
Yeah.
You can't even go into their communities and kill one of them without the whole community turning on you. I think that's what Brother Rhenaldo was trying to hint to when he was talking to you.
The Jews.
Oh, I'm sorry.
The Jews.
Huh?
The Jews. The Jews.
Oh yeah, the Jews. Because if we're going to be violent, it should be in protecting one another. There still should not be police killing us while we're rioting about George Floyd. You know, if there's going to be any violence, it should be in protecting us from that kind of domestic terrorism.
I mean, some of this
which is planned by the government.
Domestic terrorism, I feel like Coach Stokes said earlier, like, you know what? I'd rather roll with my heat than be caught without it. Brother just got lynched in Palmdale, California. I'm 70 miles from Palmdale, California. What was his name? Robert Fuller. Yeah. Robert Fuller just got lynched. That was a hate crime. They can't prove it, but brothers don't hang themselves in front of City Hall. No. So my point is,
it was a sister too, a sister that got lynched too.
45 miles away from where Robert Fuller was at. There's a connection. Right. So my point is this: we need to be our own police system. There's no need to reinvent the wheel. Some of us need to pull up like the Panthers used to pull up with heat. Like, hey, what's cracking? And that's where we're at. We have to protect ourselves, meaning your household, your family, and after that, it's the community at large. It's called to all men. You gotta protect yourselves and protect the community. We're at war.
Teddy, hold on. Jordan, did you want to say something, Jordan?
No, I'm just listening. I'm just what he's saying. I agree with most of it. But I'm listening. This is interesting. I'm really.
So, the question I want to ask, and I mean, because I'm always saying that. I'm always telling I took a mental stat as I was arresting black men while I was on active duty. And my thing is that we have to clean up our own first. And Chicago had one of the deadliest since I think they voiced, I think 1991. One of the deadliest month ever was, I think, 60 shootings and I think 18 deaths. Right. So
undercover cops.
Choo had to throw that one into the mix.
I'm just reading
I'm just going what the stats showed of black on black crime. To me, help me with this one. Why are we killing each other?
But what does black on black crime have to do with somebody being killed by the police?
I'm just asking.
That's close.
What does that have to do with somebody getting killed by the police?
I'm just saying who picketed for us killing each other?
Teddy, let's stay on topic though. Let's stay on topic, Teddy. That's a different issue. That's a different issue.
Okay.
That's a different issue.
All right, so hold on. Jay Reed.
I'm just asking.
Hold on, Teddy.
That's a different topic, Teddy.
All right, so check this out. This is what I want to do. This room right here is nothing but kings up in this room. And I should have did this shit from the beginning, but I didn't. So I'm going to go ahead and give everybody a break. Rhenaldo, my brother in the left-hand corner, he is my brother-in-law, man. This brother is doing so much in Washington, D.C. And also he's having him and my sister are having my nephew, which is going to be born next month, man. Epic Sincere Williams.
Awesome.
Beautiful name, you know what I'm saying? My man Jay Reed in the top right-hand corner. Jay Reed is one of the most promising amateur boxing coaches that's coming out of Southern California. Him and my son box together, man. And Jay, as soon as you get your ass up here to Northern California, yo, our house is gonna be open, brother. I can't wait to get working with you. My brother Todd Burton, he is in education, man. He's a teacher. He's an educator. He's one of the unspoken that we hear so much about, man. I appreciate what you're doing, Todd. My brother Teddy Randolph, man. I don't know you as a police officer. I know you as a Marine brother, and I know you as a boxer. This brother, he was Olympic 1992 Olympic alternate for the Olympic team. He fought Oscar De La Hoya. He fought all those guys. So Teddy has background. Mr. Randy Choo. I saw this brother on Instagram. And I'm gonna tell you this right now. I was not a fan of social media when I first started this shit. This how I got into the social media world. I'm gonna tell you. Back in the day when I was doing my thing, Todd, Big Ike, those of you that know me, I love women. Women was my thing, man. I was a womanizer, nigga. That was my thing. I love
Nothing wrong with that.
So when I saw Randy, I was saying to myself, any and everybody, all you brothers that's in here, I'm gonna tell you this right now. Anybody that I ask to come on my show is somebody that I see myself in the real world that I'm hanging with. So I can see myself hanging with Nardo. I've done that. I can see myself hanging with Jay Reed. I've done that. I see myself hanging with Randy. I have not done it yet, but we will. Teddy, me and you just you my little brother. You already know. Shout out. If you come, something, I got you. And you already know the type. You already know what deal is. Ike has knocked out dudes for me just on a personal basis, just because.
Gotta have one of them. Gotta have one of them on the team.
Right. You know what I'm saying, fellas, man? Hey, let's show them that we can come together. You know what I'm saying? And if we have issues, then we have issues. We talk it out. But this platform that I have right here is so fucking strong right now. That's what Choo was talking about with Malcolm and Martin. When they came together, that's when they had to get rid of them.
Facts. That's
so
true.
We ain't doing that no more. We ain't doing that. Who left off? Who was talking last time? I forgot.
Jay Reed, I think.
Jay Reed and Teddy were talking.
All right, Jay Reed, go ahead, finish, Jay.
No, I know. I was just, I understand what Teddy was saying about the black on black crime, and that's a whole nother issue. That's a whole nother issue that needs to be, handled. It needs to be addressed. One of my biggest things right now, because we talked about, like Randy Choo was talking about, like there's different fronts to the war. There's different roles that everybody in the community needs to play. One of my biggest call-outs has been, I live in California. Where are my Bloods and Crips at right now?
Right.
Where's all my gangsters at?
There you go, Jerry.
Where's all my frontline soldiers with all these guns and ready to pop?
There you go. There you go.
I don't see you guys. Where you guys at? The revolution's right now. Where you at?
There you go.
So,
there you go.
Yeah. Stop killing each other. Stop killing each other.
My man.
We need soldiers right now. We need people on there. Yeah.
Here it is. Is that if they feel as though we killing each other, they feel as though they have a right to kill you.
Correct.
Right? And when we stop outing each other, they say, well, man, they're not killing each other. We can't put our hands on them.
Right.
Teddy.
Huh?
Teddy, I love you.
And so if we take ownership of our own, okay, I put it this way, of our own backyard first, and taking care of our own, man. And that's what I'm saying. It's just like supporting our own black business.
But right now, Teddy, I agree with you. But right now, we have to multitask. You're right. But we're in a state of emergency, and we need to multitask.
Right.
We got to multitask.
Just like you said, where are the Crips? Where are the Bloods? To help us fight this fight. To help us fight this battle. Where are the Oprahs? Where are the all the money people to help us to speak up for what's going on today?
I just want to say that yes, I agree. We should clean up our own backyard. Because I do work in real life. It's kind of and I'm not talking to Teddy. I'm talking to the audience that's going to be watching this. So I want to make it clear. I'm not going against my brother because I have a lot of respect for Teddy, and I'll punch somebody in the mouth for Teddy. So I'm not. I'm not going at Teddy. I want to talk to the audience because when this gets posted, you got to know that the FBI and all of them are going to be listening to the conversation as well, especially when you have alpha males on it like this. That cleaning up our backyard, first of all, we would have to get a backyard in order for that to happen, because right now we got taken out of our backyard and we're in somebody else's backyard. So we have to clean up the spot that we've been brought to. We have to clean up our communities. At the same time, we have to stop letting this enemy off the hook by saying that if we stop killing ourselves, then it would give them the impression to stop killing us. They started killing us way before we started killing one another. It's just in their nature to do that. What we have to do is, while cleaning up our what we so-called call our backyard, we still need people to let them know don't touch us. Because when we had Tulsa, Oklahoma, when we had oil barrels and our own economic base and our own everything, they bombed us and shot us from airplanes when our backyard, quote unquote, was clean. This happened 400 times after slavery in American history. It's called the 400 White Race Riots.
Called the Fear of a Black Planet. That's what it's called.
Thank you. Yes. So, and I say that humbly. I'm not going against nobody on the panel. I say that humbly because yes, we need to do some cleaning up ourselves, but let's not let them off the hook for who they really are.
No, exactly.
You know what I used to tell young black males? Hey, not because you and her don't make it, you and your children can't make it. Take care of your children. Support your kids. Look out for your kids. Not because you and her don't make it, that means you and your kids can't. Go look for your kids. Take her something. Don't just disappear and just show up at their graduation when they turn 18. And I've had many fathers done that. Just show up at graduation day for 18 years, man. So and I've told them, hey, listen, man, if you and her don't make it, that's fine. It's okay. But that don't mean you and your kids can't make it. You and your kids can make it.
Yeah.
And just take them something. Show up. If you even take a 50-cent ice cream cone and sit at Dairy Queen, or $1 ice cream cone and sit at Dairy Queen and sit at the park and just swing with them and ask them how were they day at school, and just hang out with them in the park, just ride a bike with them, just stroll with them, just talk to them about school or anything. How was your day in school? That's it. Give the mom a break.
Yeah.
They will remember that more so than the child support money.
If that is possible, Teddy, I agree with you. But unfortunately, systematically, sometimes that's not possible. With the way the system breaks up the household, child support, I got 30% custody. The wife has 70% custody. She's taking it out on me because she doesn't want me to see the kids. Like, unfortunately, the trickle down from white supremacy and the systematic breakup of the household, that's not always possible. We know it's possible of having a co-parenting situation. It can happen. But oftentimes, I know too many brothers, Teddy, who are telling me I only have 30% custody. The system is telling me I'm only a 30% dad, and on top of that, I have to cough up $400 a week. And so that's the part of the system that we're not talking about. It's ingrained in the system to break up households.
So,
and yeah.
So you're married, correct?
I'm married.
So within your household, what is it that works for you and your wife? I mean, I'm not saying give all your gems and nuggets away. So, for example, me and my household, I know my role, and my wife knows her role. My wife knows for a fact I hate fucking bills. Yeah. She handles all the bills. I'll bring the money in. She disperses it out. Or anything she needs, I'm the protection. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I know my role. What works for you? Because a lot of times, I think within relationships, people don't know their role, man.
Well, what you see is what you get with me.
Right.
What you see is what you get. And to me, open communication is the foundation to any relationship.
That's
I don't care whether it's a friendship, this panel we on.
There you go.
You got it, as the young folks say, you got to keep it real. So open communication, and then obviously I'm with you. So that like I said, respect. You got to have respect. You got to have open communication, and there has to be genuine love because things ain't always gonna be great. Sometimes I'm not gonna want to talk to you, but if I love you and I respect you, we're gonna get through any storm. So all the other stuff can be worked out. Who pays the bills? Who does this? Who takes the kids to that practice? That's all. That's all on a case-to-case, case-by-case situation. How you work it out, but open communication, respect, and genuine love. I know that's very broad, but like my household, my wife, it's just we know. Like when you have that connection, you just know. Like, okay, I need to talk with my husband before I make the decision. Before somebody calls, I want to make improvements to the house or whatever. I need to talk to my husband, or vice versa. I need to talk to my wife before I say this is a go. or you know what I mean? Or, oh, I'm going to go, I have a business meeting, I need to go study, and there's other women to be there. I need to tell my wife, oh, I'm going to go over here to this business meeting. Jane Doe, you know, who is that on my phone? You know, hey, this is Cindy from work, whatever. There has to be open, honest communication, respect. And once you have those things, you can get through anything. It ain't going to be perfect. I'll be the first one to tell anybody, you know, hey, people look at the outside. It always looks good on the outside. Things ain't always great, but you can get through anything if you respect someone and you truly love them and you put the other person first. That's a challenge right now to everybody. Right now, this movement, people are going to have to sacrifice. We're going to have to put the community before ourselves. We're going to have to take risk. Everybody's going to have to take risk. And that's the essence of a true relationship.
My brother Steve, just like the same question you asked when we opened this, it's just that what they need from us is just like us being there for them. They've always been there for us. It's just we being there for them. And I think all too many times, us as black men disappear.
Okay.
You know?
Well, hey, we ran over our hour.
Okay.
I want to know. Well, Jay Reed and Teddy have already answered the question, but I want to go around to each person before we conclude and ask you, what is it? You know, I want you to answer that question. What piggyback off what they just said? Todd Burton, can you piggyback off that?
Man, I think Jay Reed hit it right on the head. You know, the true definition of what a relationship needs to be and what like the roles everybody has. I mean, he hit it right on the head, man. I couldn't put it any better. That's exactly what it needs to happen in a relationship. The whole trust thing, the whole defining of roles. I mean, that brother hit it right on the head right there.
Gotcha. Okay. To my man Big Ike in the background, Big Ike, can you scoot over your logo so we can see a little bit more? To your left. Hey, if you guys are ever in upstate New York, I'm gonna give them a plug. Bon Appetit. Is it Bon Appetit?
It's Bon Appetit in my kitchen, but it's Big Ike's Bowl Appetit. And your wife gave me that name.
Yeah. hey, my wife be dropping a lot of dimes on people, man. So, hey, he is a food caterer. This brother cooks some of the best food that you would ever eat. I remember going over to this cat's house when we was like 7 to 8 years old after Cub Scouts, and his mama cooking the best food, man.
Word.
Honor, man. But, Ike, can you chime in on that, brother?
What I need from my lady, man, I'm gonna do everything else, man. As long as when I walk through my door, she's my comfort, I'll do anything for her. That's just the bottom line, man, because we live in a cruel world, man. We got to go through all kinds of things. But when I come inside my door, I just need that comfort, man. I want to feel like, and she makes me feel like I'm at home. This is where you can lay everything out. If I want to fuss about the day, she'll let it happen. And then she'll come over me and she'll rub me on my back and say, babe, it'll be all right. Mm-hmm. Just my comfort, man. That's all I need from her is to be my comfort. I'll supply everything else.
Good to go. Jordan, can you
Yes,
wrap
sir. Up? From what I need from my lady?
Yes.
I just need her to really just support, right? Just same thing like Big Ike just said, just to be there for me, to know that when I come home at the end of the day, no matter what's going on, no matter what I'm feeling, that she's gonna be there to really just, I sound kind of whack, but cuddle me and just let me know it's gonna be all right, right? And that she back. So just overall, just support, love, and unconditional love, right? Just unconditional love and support. That's all I need.
You know, brothers, man. A lot of times we get discredited for saying like we need love and we need this, we need that, but they thinking, you know, being a man, but being a black man, you are Superman. No, there's a times where I go up to my wife and I'm like, yo, I need a hug. She be like,
yeah, real.
And she hugged me. You know what I'm saying? Hug me or she pat me on the butt or, you know, she flirt. Whatever we do. You brothers know what I'm saying.
Of course.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, hey, Nardo, can you chime in, brother?
I mean, I think everyone, like I said, everyone nailed it perfectly. My verbiage will be, I want you to be my co-pilot in this thing we call life. Just ride with me. Sometimes you take the wheel, I revert to the back seat or the passenger seat, and let me take the wheel sometimes, and you go on the passenger side. I mean, the equal balance of that. We will have a successful relationship, successful marriage. Just understanding that you don't always have to be the leader. Everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Sometimes you could take the back seat and just watch. You have two eyes and one mouth. You always gotta speak, but always be aware.
Yeah.
So that's how I look at it.
What's up? I like that.
Randy Choo, brother.
I love what everyone said on the panel. It was amazing, and I agree wholeheartedly with what everyone said. Every relationship is based on a level of dependency, and what I stress in my household, apart from respect, is don't lose your dependency. Don't become independent from what we have established, because that's when we give a loophole for anything else to come in and break up the home. I depend on my wife. My wife depends on me. There's expectations there. And that's not a bad thing to have expectations in your relationship. So love, respect, dependency, and like the good brother Jordan said, hey man, sometimes I need you to just hold me and cuddle me, girl. You know what I mean? Because this world crazy. This world crazy. Yeah.
You know, fellas, I appreciate that, and I would say I would have to say for me, it would be all of them, man. I want security. I want loving. I want somebody that's gonna have my back. I want to be able, for a fact, like I said, I have my peace with me, but my wife knows how to use it. We go to the range together. My wife loves going to the shooting range, but then too, she loves putting on that lingerie or whatever it is that turns me on at the same time too. So I need both, man. I need both because in this climate, you can't just have somebody that's just pretty on your arm. You need a warrior. If you want to have warriors, you need to meet a warrior or get with a warrior so you can have warriors. You can't have nobody that's gonna curl up. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I appreciate you, brothers. And if anybody want to go ahead and get in on the next one, let me know. We can run it back next Sunday. But tune in on next Saturday because we will be having a seminar, an online seminar. It's going to be me, Brother Choo, Brother Cedric, Brother Rhenaldo, and a couple other people that's going to be up there talking about some things of, how we can protect ourselves and maintain ourselves within the community. So definitely, we definitely will be putting that out there. But I appreciate all of you brothers, Jordan, Big Ike, Todd, Teddy as always, Randy Choo, Nardo, and Jay Reed. Jay, you came hard this week, brother. For real. You know what though?
Yeah.
Jay was like that from the get-go because when me and Jay we met down in Mexicoville, down in where we at? Merced, California?
Yeah, Merced, yeah.
We was the only brothers there, man, for real. And we was in the back room. He's like, "What's up, man? What's up, man?" I saw another brother, and it was like, man,
instant.
It was instant. It was instant, man. So I appreciate each and every one of you brothers. But if y'all like to run this back next Sunday and go on top of that, we can go ahead and do it. So I send out the the invitation there to all you brothers. But I appreciate all you brothers.
Sure, no doubt.